Hello friends, welcome back for another garden tour. We started harvesting a few things, so I'm being good to stop and show what's going on. Hi. So our tomatoes are looking... You want to say hi? Hi! Our tomatoes are looking so crazy because we had a storm come in, I believe it was Saturday, and it was like almost 75-mile-an-hour gusts. It blew planters over for neighbors' houses, like so much crazy stuff went on. So tomatoes just don't look as good as they used to. So let me turn you around and show you everything going on. So as we always start, here are the tomatoes. You can see so many things are just like completely flopped over here. I'm just letting things go because there are still lots of decent sized tomatoes. We are dealing with lots of leaf-footed bugs. So I'm out here picking them off daily. It is probably one of the #1 pests I deal with. But then I have like big cosmos here. Still haven't bloomed.
Pretty flowers.
But we are picking tons of very pretty zinnias. Look at this one sunflower. It's a good one. Some of the sunflowers didn't make it. Some of my tomatoes didn't make it, but down here I do have some new ground cherries and a new jalapeno started. And basil is filling back in.
What is that scene up there?
Oh, it's just something from when Daddy fixed the window. Over here we have some sad strawberries. They are just not doing as good in pots this year as they did last year. So it's just a little frustrating. But tomatoes I planted in those grow bags are doing good. Same with those ones here. These peppers are looking great.
But one time there was fire there.
These peppers aren't doing the best. I need to water. We keep waiting on this rain and it's never showing. And I do want to start some compost tea. So that is going to be one of the other things we start next. A lot of this all needs to get pulled out because it's all cucumbers, and the cucumbers are just a little too bitter now.
And a watermelon.
Oh yeah, we'll show you the watermelon in a second. Look at these sweet potatoes. They are going absolutely nuts. Even marigolds down here are going good. Okay, let's keep walking.
Here is our watermelon.
And our watermelon down here is doing great. Be gentle with it.
There's more watermelon.
Some more tomatoes doing good. Over here on this side, the celery is taking the biggest hit, but I mean, it's in like almost 100-degree weather.
And
the loofahs are going nuts. Trombocino going great. All these tomatoes are going good. More trombocino taking off down here. The cucamelons were growing right here. Now they are over there thanks to that storm. Here is my bean, corn, and squash bed. Some of this corn has recovered from the storm. Some has not. There's a couple with tassels. But I really don't expect to get corn. It's the fun of it. But we do have some squash growing. And do you see those flowers? I believe it's the birdhouse squash that is vining up. So I'm just gonna let it go. And things are going great here. I just keep peeking. I see little flowers are starting to pop up on my bush beans. So we're waiting. Okra might not be the year for okra. We still have plenty of time for it to grow, but it is just not growing very fast. Some of my tomatillos are taking a hit already. That's okay. It happens. I don't expect them to last all season. Now with the wind, it blew my cosmos completely over. So I mean, they're like popping up out of the ground here, but they're still growing. They've just you can see they're turning to grow up. We'll just let them go. It's just the fun of hurricane season. And then we have zinnias popping up down here. But the tomatoes we planted, all of these are doing great. No complaints, but all of these beans did die. So that is one sad thing. But we did just harvest a zucchini. I think we've just kind of harvested tomatillos, finally a zucchini, which is super exciting. a bunch of different tomatoes. These front flowers took a hit too. My super tall Cosmo, that is almost as tall as me, still hasn't bloomed, but I had to stake it up. Over here, some of these flowers are just not doing good despite rain, despite everything else. I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna call it, they're not my flowers. Things are growing here with our lime tree, my mint. Everything here is looking really good. My mint's looking a little sad. The more I look at it, I think I just need to come pick it and hopefully help it propagate and maybe continue to grow. This bed here still is looking a little sad just because all the tomatoes died in it. But all the herbs here are doing great. It's looking really pretty, especially with the zinnias and the marigolds. Some of our blueberries are done. Then if I come over here, you can see some of them are loaded. So I think we have 2 different varieties, 3 of each here along the front. And this variety is a little more stockier with it has plenty of leaves, but I feel like it produces just bigger clumps of fruit. And then we have this variety that's way more leafy, and it has lots of fruit in it, but it doesn't produce the big clumps like this variety does. But in here we have sunflowers, more tomatillos. These are cosmos. This one here is about to bloom, and then in the back on the other side I have come again zinnias, and look, there's a white one and there's a green one. So this just continues down this bed, and look at these cosmos just perking up. But look at these sunflowers, so pretty. My peach tree, some more flowers, blueberries. And then we come down here and look at this one. It's just loaded. And then here is this bed, and you can see these flowers are basically done. The bee balm. And thyme. My lettuce is completely gone to seed, so when we get done, I will go get a paper bag and I will save it in and collect the lettuce seeds. And everything down here. And so here you go. Look at this. More blueberries. Can you just believe it? I can't believe this. Look, if I come back down here, I just have to show you how pretty these zinnias are that are blooming on this side. Look at this white one and this green one. I love these green ones. I planted a ton last year. All the green ones I'm growing this year are from seed from last year. So it's super exciting. All right, from this to this. Not a bad little harvest of the night. So there's the look at my gardens. I keep watching this way. Will there be storms? There's an up to 80% chance of rain overnight. So I think I am going to sprinkle some warm castings over things just to hope and pray a little bit. Some things are looking really rough for us because we're kind of hitting that midpoint. We're reaching that point in our growing season where we've kind of hit halfway. So now it's just so hot, horrible, and miserable. Things just suffer for a while. We haven't gone this long with no rain for quite a bit. I know I've talked about this in week past garden tours. I don't know what's up with our weather. I'm just now starting to have bad pest pressure with these leaf-footed bugs. This whole spring they were good. So we're just kind of at the point where it's a little frustrating. I feel like I've worked so hard and all of that, but then again, that looks good. I mean, I have to tell myself that looks good. Everything, but where is it? My cucamelons were started by seed all along that way. So it's exciting. Every year I want to expand. I don't really know what I want to do next. I know I really, really want to start artichokes. That is my goal. I just bought artichoke seeds. So I'm hoping for artichokes next year. But at this point in time, I'm just very proud of myself for doing what I have this year. by myself, single parenting because of the military at the moment. But I've never grown this much from seed. A lot of the tomatoes I just planted, you guys know I got them at such a steal, 3 tomatoes for $1.25. Yes, please. I don't even know what that is. Was that less than 50 cents a tomato? I'm not gonna do that math. No, not even gonna try. But things are doing great. Another thing I want to go add to my plants is crushed eggshells. I have a jar of eggshells I'm just accumulating. I am going to go crumble them and then start sprinkling them on my plants to give them that extra calcium. Because if you look on like granulated food, there are 3 main things. There's the 3 numbers. You have your nitrogen, your phosphate, and your potash, but these also have calcium, magnesium, and sulfur. So I am going to go add in crushed eggshells. That's where I will get some calcium. I have some bananas sitting in water, and it basically makes like a fertilizer, and I'll come pour that on my plants, and that's where I will get some of the potash because of the K. What is that? Potassium. I feel like I should be putting my science degree to the test. And then they don't need as much nitrogen right now because nitrogen is for like green growth. I want all the other growth. So I have to tell myself I grew pretty much everything here from seed, all except my holy basil on the very end. So I'm just trying not to get discouraged because you know what? I have done so much better this year gardening than I have any other year since we've moved to Mississippi. Next month will be 4 years officially we've lived here. So it's just kind of like that accomplishment. I am doing it, even if my plants look incredibly sad over here. It's okay, I am doing it. And I'm reminding myself to be proud of myself. So have a good one. I am gonna edit this for you and I'm gonna put it up once I get my little ones to bed. So have a good evening, friends.